There it is, ladies and gentlemen, our aircraft for today, the Boeing 777-200. Now, I'm sure you've all heard of British Airways, a lovely airline based in the United Kingdom, the flag carrier in fact, with an overall rating of 7.3 out of 10. Now, it is indeed deemed to be the best airline in the United Kingdom, however, some people have different opinions, for example myself, believing that Virgin Atlantic may be better. But who am I to speak if I've never actually flown British Airways or Virgin Atlantic? Well, what better way to give an honest opinion about an airline than to fly them yourself? Now, as you can see here, we are on the official British Airways website looking at their, well, websites. And you know, for the real deal, you might as well get a flight that is a relatively decent distance, fine length, so why not maybe 12 hours? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today to actually fly in British Airways and give you guys an honest review on them. We're going to be diving deep into the customer service, the food, the landing, the takeoff, all that good stuff. But most importantly, we're going to actually give a review on whether or not they are, well, average approved. Forget about Swiss 001 approved, average approved is where it's at. We're going to go from London Gatwick to Port of Spain in Trinidad. We're going to fly out tomorrow on the 8th, and we're going to not come back. We're not going to come back.
Illegal migration.
Let's have a little search around, see what they've got available for us to, you know, teethe on. And here we have one seat left at premium economy for $1,883. But let's click it nonetheless. And here we have 38 inches of legroom. Yeah, two 23-kilogram bags. Okay, that's cool. And we get a separate, smaller cabin. Don't care. Let's go. We've got London Gatwick departure, arriving at Port of Spain on the 8th. Very good. We're gonna not book a hotel because we don't care about that. And my total price is £1,882.77. Let's agree and continue. It's asking me for some very simple information, like if I'm a Mr. or a Mrs. I'm gonna be a Lord. I want to be Lord. We're going to call ourselves today Lord Avrate on YouTube. And then literally all we do is just pay. Well, that's a relatively simple way to book a flight. Well, yeah, let's go. Now, I'm not actually going to book this flight right now because I've already booked it. However, we're going to have a very fun little trip to Trinidad in the Boeing 777-200 with British Airways. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight to Gatwick Airport and let's fly.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, of course, the first step to getting on a flight is checking in. It was relatively busy in the British Airways check-in section, but we did manage to get through pretty quickly. We filled through and we were ready to go.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen, our aircraft for today, the Boeing 777-200.
And not very long after recording that last clip from the gate, we were ready to start boarding this aircraft. So you can see us going through the jetway here. It was very jam-packed. They didn't really do the boarding from the back sort of thing that they usually do for some reason, so getting to our seats was horrible. But hey, I can't complain at all because British Airways was so nice and they decided to give us a free pillow, a free blanket, you know, the basic amenities. They gave us a little magazine and a pair of earphones. Right here you can see we've got a bit of in-flight entertainment, but we'll talk about that in a moment. We've got a tray table for eating our food and drinks, and then as you can see, we don't have much leg room, but I can't really blame the airline. I mean, I am 6'3", so that's on me.
Okay, so we've just been advised by the captain that we've got about a 30-minute delay because there's a startup queue and we're about 10th in the queue, so it's going to take us a moment before we can actually get going. So we're going to be half an hour delayed now, but the flight's actually shorter than we expected. 8.5 hours. I was expecting 12 hours.
One eternity later.
Got a dual pushback North 787 pushing back at the same time as our BA triple. That's sick. That's the first time we've ever had that. Oh my god, we're facing different directions. We're literally pushing back and we're gonna go nose to nose. That's insane. Okay, there we go.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, just like that, the time for takeoff was upon us. We were ready to get into the skies of London in our British Airways Boeing 777. And on the way out of Gatwick Airport, I saw a very interesting looking aircraft. If anyone can tell me what this is in the comments, that would be amazing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, about an hour and a half into our flight, we have the cabin crew come around for first service, serving us some nice little snacks, pretzels, orange juice, and a can of beer. I, of course, went for the can of beer because, well, you know, I like myself a can of beer. I do prefer the bottles, though. Now, the pretzels, I'll give them a 9 out of 10. I ate them at the speed of light, and I did actually end up having a second packet because they were so good. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, the beer, the apple juice, because you're not allowed to. The apple juice with bubbles in it. Yes, the apple juice was not very nice. It tastes very, very sad, very bland. Overall, I'd give it a 3 out of 10. Maybe it's just the apple juice brand, but I'm not too sure. Now, ladies and gentlemen, everything on this flight is going as planned. Everything's nice and calm. The skies are quiet, and everyone's having a great time until, well, until this happens. Now, if you don't know what's happening there, we are experiencing some pretty strong turbulence, and it's, I mean very strong. But the thing about it is, it wasn't normal turbulence, it was actually wake turbulence generated by an Airbus A380 that we had entered the flight path of. This resulted in the plane suffering the effects of wake turbulence, forcing us to, well, shake a lot and bank about 15 degrees, which shouldn't really be happening. This turbulence was so severe that we dropped a couple thousand feet, and we even ended up disappearing off of flight radar for a few minutes. Right here you can see the flight plan where we got completely sent off course and then had to sort of rejoin our flight plan. And after we had landed, I actually spoke to one of the pilots in the cockpit, and he even told me that that's the worst turbulence he's experienced in a very long time. So, you know, that says something. Now, once we had escaped the wake turbulence, the cabin crew got themselves back up off the floor and continued their meal service. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this time around they served us with a whopping meal, and of course I had to take the white wine. Got ourselves some beef stew and mash with some bread, some crackers, some cheese cakes, and some really nasty looking thing, and oh yeah, that was disgusting. Starting off with the beef stew and the mash, I obviously had to dig in with one hand. It took me a minute to get it all on the fork, but you know what? I tasted it, and I will tell you now, the look on my face is the look of a liar. That is not the right face. That was beautiful. Hey, you. Yeah. I paused this video because I want you to look at my face. I want you to take in the information that my face is displaying, okay? That is a face of disgust. Whatever I just ate was absolutely disgusting. It was futile. It was putrid. It was disgusting. Okay, I'm gonna stop insulting the food, but it was not pleasant. You know what? Although whatever I just ate was absolutely rancid, the mash and beef stew was actually really good, and I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10. The flavor was there, it was good. Fair play, British Airways. You're treating me like a king to a certain extent, not with whatever the hell you just fed me, but the rest of it's fine. Now let's talk about the in-flight entertainment. The in-flight entertainment was not very, it wasn't amazing in terms of the gameplay, but the movies were really good. The games were very upsetting and sad. We also did have the option to get some Wi-Fi, but unfortunately it wasn't working, and you did have to pay for it. It was like £5 for 1 hour, which is quite expensive, but you know, it's how an airline makes money. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take some time to give the games some attention on this flight today. Let's just scroll through and see what we've got. So as you guys can see, we've got a load of options, but we're going to be doing chess for today, so of course expect some victories. If I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't really spend too long playing this game for the sole reason of this dude taking so long to play. Bro, I was playing against a computer, and yet you're taking longer to think than me. Like, look at this. What do you think this is? A Chuck E. Cheese drive-thru? Why are you taking so long? I'm not waiting for this. I was getting very stressed out and worked up about the very slow-paced game, and so I decided, why not maybe do something a little bit more relaxing? Perhaps we could do a bit of high life shopping. And so I opened up the shop, and you can see a lot of very useless items that are being charged for high prices. So I decided to very swiftly exit and evacuate that page. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with just over an hour left of our flight, the cabin crew came through one more time with one last meal. They gave me a nice, lovely wrap. A chicken tikka wrap, to be specific, and it was very nice. Ladies and gentlemen, just under 20 minutes left on this flight to go, and I was beginning to already miss the cabin crew because of how nice they were. They were amazing, great team. And so in pursuit of the scent, I decided to make the most of the scenery by looking outside of the window, in order to allow myself to peacefully drown in my sorrows, knowing that there's a very high chance I would never be able to see them again.
My ears literally are like dying right now.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, to wrap things up, it was time for, of course, the landing, the moment we've all been waiting for. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. A very nice smooth landing into Piarco International Airport with British Airways. And of course, the ultimate question everyone's been waiting for. Do I think British Airways is good? Well, if I'm gonna be honest, the comfort, the food, the customer service, and the landing, it was all good. Overall, I'd give British Airways a 7 out of 10. And so on that note, ladies and gentlemen, of course, British Airways is indeed Avrator approved. But that does not yet quite take Virgin Atlantic out of the mix, because we still need to fly them and find out if they're any better. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want me to fly Virgin Atlantic for a video just like this one, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. If we can get to 200 likes in this video, I will book a ticket with Virgin Atlantic. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, very, very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.